You are welcome to the Messiah Revelation channel. This is an end-time prophetic channel, and we alert you about the things happening in the world. The channel is dedicated to preparing for the arrival of the Messiah, and we also alert the Hebrews who are scattered over the world. We awaken you, and so that you know your identity and you have to know the time that we are in is the time of the sons of Issachar, and you need to know what is going on and what you have to do as a Hebrew, regardless of where you are scattered. We are going to focus on several issues regarding the prophetic question, which Israel is God's time clock. The evangelicals, particularly in America, are saying that Israel is God's timepiece. And when they say Israel, they are talking about the state of Israel, and that was established in 1948. As you are aware, Israel came into being in 1948 as a result of political negotiations that went on in England, in Britain. They wanted to locate the Jews in Kenya. Later, they wanted to locate them in Uganda, but they finally made a decision to locate them in Palestine in 1948. And the evangelicals are saying that that constitutes the gathering of the children of God that the prophets talk about in the Old Testament. And I believe that the true Hebrews are still scattered over the world, and these are the Negroes who were shipped and scattered to all over the four corners of the earth. The time for regathering is coming. It has not come yet. And the prophets in the Old Testament foresaw the day of the regathering. And there will be a time when the true worshippers of God will go to Mount Zion. They will go to Jerusalem to give their worship and offering to the rightful king, the Messiah, who is coming very soon, and we need to prepare ourselves for that day. The prophet Zephaniah in Zephaniah 3 verse 10 is talking about a time when the true worshippers of God will go to Mount Zion and they will give their offering to God. The prophet Zephaniah, the son of Cushi, was talking about people coming from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. It shows that there will be a time that the true children of God will be scattered over the world, including Ethiopia. And Zephaniah, the son of Cushi, prophesied that a time will come, the suppliants, the worshippers of God, will come to Mount Zion and give their offering. Zephaniah, the Old Testament prophet, was the son of Cushi, and Cushi means Ethiopia. And everybody who is a Bible scholar, most people believe that when the word Cush is used, it is in reference to Ethiopia. And so it is no wonder that the son of Cushi, Zephaniah, was giving hope to the people scattered over the world, including those scattered beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. The rivers of Ethiopia refers to people scattered beyond Africa, including those scattered over the Atlantic Ocean as a result of the transatlantic slave trade. War broke out, as we are aware, in Palestine between Hamas and Israel. And as a result of that war in October 2023, there were demonstrations all over the world against Israel. And I watched a video where the presenter was saying that the demonstrations against Israel constitutes apostasy spoken of in the Bible. As you are aware, Paul says that there's going to be a time when there will be apostasy in the world, and that will be a sign that the Antichrist is going to be revealed. Apostasy is an end time sign, it's one of the signs of the end times. Now, how do you say demonstration against Israel is apostasy? The presenter, she is Watch Woman 65. She operates a YouTube channel called Watch Woman 65, and she said that when Christians are demonstrating against Israel, it shows apostasy, and it's a sign of the end time. I believe that she doesn't understand what apostasy means. Apostasy means falling away. Falling away from where? Falling away from the true faith of the gospel. And the gospel is centered on the Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus Christ. And so if you fall away from the gospel, if you fall away from the faith in the Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus Christ, then that is apostasy. Demonstrating against Israel is not apostasy if you are referring to what Paul was talking about in his writings to the Thessalonians. You see how people switch the scriptures because they conclude that Israel is God's timepiece. And so when you see people demonstrating against Israel, particularly if the demonstrators are Christians, then they are saying, yes, the sign of apostasy has come. This is a blasphemy. Why is it a blasphemy? It's a blasphemy because apostasy refers to moving away from the faith in the Messiah. And if you describe demonstration against political Israel as apostasy, it means you do not understand the Bible. You are just engaging in idolatry. Idolatry involves worshiping political idols, worshiping political systems, worshiping leaders, worshiping money, anything that stands between you and God is an idol, and worshiping political states is an idol. Worshiping political leaders is an idol. And so the evangelicals who worship presidents, including President Trump, they are worshiping an idol. And those who worship political states worship an idol. And the true worship should be centered on God. The true worship should be centered on the Messiah. Apostasy is falling away from the true teachings of the Messiah. When you hold an LGBT flag in a city, including Jerusalem, including Tel Aviv, that is apostasy. You are falling away from the true teachings of the Messiah. You are even falling away from the commandments of God, particularly if you consider yourself as God's chosen people. If you deviate from the commandments of God, you are engaged in apostasy. And so this video is to correct the erroneous impression that when someone demonstrates against Israel, that is an apostasy. It's not an apostasy. Watch Woman 65, I believe, doesn't understand the prophetic meaning of apostasy. And so many people will make a mistake. They will make a mistake because they will assume that political Israel is God's timepiece, and they will use that to make a lot of political calculations. And I call them political calculations because prophecy is different from political calculations. The true prophet should prophesy about what God has revealed. The true prophet will not prophesy based upon political emotions, will not prophesy based upon political events. Prophecy is based upon what has been revealed by the Most High. So apostasy, as revealed to Paul, is not about demonstrating against Israel. Apostasy, as revealed to Paul, refers to falling away from the faith in the Lord, the faith in the gospel, and that is apostasy. There's hatred for Jews, and that's what they say, and I'm not contending that, but hatred for a particular race doesn't mean that the victims are the chosen of God. And when we're talking about the genocide and that happened to the Jews, we have to remember that it happened in the 1940s during the time of Hitler. You also have to remember that the genocide was perpetrated by Germans. And it reminds me of the genocide that the Germans perpetrated against Africans in 1903. Before the genocide in 1940, there was a genocide in 1903. The genocide perpetrated against the people of Namibia, the Herero people in Namibia, perpetrated by Germans, and a lot of people died. You can Google the genocide against the Herero people, H-E-R-E-R-O, Herero people in Namibia. Genocide was perpetrated against them by Germans who occupied Namibia. And it reminds me of what happened in Berlin, now the capital of Germany. Remember the partition of Africa, the infamous Berlin Conference that took place in 1884 to 1885 as a result of the Berlin Conference, and the land of Africa was divided among the European powers. And it happened after slavery was abolished, quote unquote, in 1803, and slave trade was abolished, quote unquote, 1803 in Britain, and in 1834, slavery was also abolished. But long after that, in 1884, in Berlin, the capital of Germany, the European powers, the Gentile powers met and planned how to divide African lands among themselves. And the conference is a conspiracy against a particular group of people. The partition of Africa affected the children of Judah who were scattered to different parts of Africa following the events that happened in Jerusalem in AD 70. You remember that there was a kingdom in West Africa called the Kingdom of Judah. That was a kingdom that was established by the children of Judah who fled from Jerusalem after the invasion of Jerusalem in AD 70. The Kingdom of Judah is located in West Africa, the same place where we refer to as the Slave Coast. And if you look at the ancient maps, particularly the map of 1747, you will locate the Kingdom of Judah in West Africa. The point I'm making is that if you talk about genocide against God's chosen people, you saw genocide against Herero people in Namibia, perpetrated by Germans, the same people who also committed genocide against the Jews. If you are talking about the division or the partition of land belonging to the chosen people of God, you saw the Berlin Conference in 1884, 1885, that resulted in the partitioning of the land of Africa. And if you are talking about genocide, you remember what happened to Congo, the Bantus in Congo. 10 million people lost their lives as a result of the atrocities perpetrated by King Leopold the Second of Belgium, who took Congo as his property, thanks to the infamous Berlin Conference in 1884, 1885 that resulted in the partitioning of the land of Africa. And some people even refer to the Berlin Conference as the partition of the land as prophesied in the book of Joel. Which nation is the God's time clock? Is it 1948 state Israel? People say yes, it's 1948 state. The Israel is God's timepiece, and they refer to Israel as fulfilling the Ezekiel prophecy of the dry bones. The dry bones will rise again, and they say, hey, 1948, the state of Israel has risen again. 2,000 years of history. The Jews are now settled in 1948, and so that is the fulfillment of the Ezekiel prophecy about the dry bones. Which nation are implicated in the prophecy in the dry bones? For us to look at that, let's look at the book of Ezekiel chapter 37, Ezekiel 37:15, and I'm reading from the King James Version of the Bible. Ezekiel 37 is talking about the valley of dry bones. And here I'm looking at Ezekiel 37 verse 15, and the title is One Nation Under One King. There's going to be a time when there will be one nation, the nation of Israel, under one king. Is an end time event. It has not happened yet. The word of the Lord came again unto me, the prophet Ezekiel, saying, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companion. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions. Verse 17 of Ezekiel 37 says, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thy hand. So the prophecy is that a time will come when there will be one nation, the nation of Israel and the nation of Judah. They will become one. Has that time come yet? No. Why do I say that? It has not come yet. And I'm referring you to another prophet, the prophet Isaiah. And the prophet Isaiah, in Isaiah 11 verse 12, is talking about a time when that prophecy will be fulfilled. It's an end time event. Isaiah 11:12, and he's talking about the Messiah, Yeshua, who has not come yet. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. The Bible is talking about a time when the outcasts of Judah and the outcasts of Israel and the dispersed of Judah will be gathered by the Messiah in the end times. This prophecy is talking about the gathering of the outcasts of Israel and the dispersed of Judah. It's an end time event. And so for the Hebrews who are still in captivity scattered over the world, don't panic. Don't listen to the prophecy experts. Don't listen to the evangelicals in America. The end time event of gathering the outcasts of Israel and the dispersed of Judah has not happened, and it will happen under the watch of the Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus Christ. He will be the answer. He will be the one who will do the gathering, as Moses led the gathering of the Hebrews from Egypt. So the Messiah will be the one who will do the gathering of the outcasts of Israel and the dispersed of Judah. And on that day, the prophecy in Ezekiel, the prophecy about the dry bone will be fulfilled, because two sticks, one for Israel and one for Judah, will be joined together to form a nation. And that's why in this Bible, the Bible is talking about one nation under one king. And the king that we believe in is Yeshua, Jesus Christ of Nazareth. He is the one who is the Messiah. He is the one that the people of Israel do not believe in. And they do not believe in, they believe in another Messiah. They do not believe in Yeshua, Jesus Christ. They don't believe that he is the king. But for the house of Israel and the house of Jacob, who are scattered over the world, they believe in the Messiah, Yeshua, Jesus Christ. And so the question I'm asking is, which Israel is God's time peace? Is it the scattered of Judah and the dispersed of Israel, the outcasts of Israel and the dispersed of Judah who believe in the Messiah? Is it those people who are the time clock of God? Is it those people who are the center of prophecy, or the people who were gathered in 1948 under the Balfour Declaration? Are they the true time peace? Are they the centerpiece of God's prophecy regarding the chosen people of God? I was watching a video, and the presenter I believe he's a Jew, and he was talking about the choosing of God being the Jews in the state of Israel. And he was talking about the Jews being the choosing of God and being the royal priesthood. And he emphasized that that title, that designation does not refer to any people, whether in Asia or in Africa. It's not surprising because I've never seen any presentation by an evangelical regarding the Jews that refers to the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28. The curses in Deuteronomy chapter 20 refers to the true Hebrews, because the Lord told Moses that the children of God will go through the curses. And so if you are a chosen of God, you should show how your history fits into the curses in Deuteronomy chapter 28. And as you are aware, Deuteronomy 28:68 is a prophetic event that happened. It happened when the children of God were shipped into Egypt again, and that is a fulfillment of Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. The evangelicals in America have never shown how political Israel fits into that timepiece, fits into Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. Those who say Israel is God's timepiece, they also make certain declarations. They use scripture, and I think they misinterpret scripture. And here I'm referring to one video that I watched. The video was done by Amil Safati. He is an Israelite, he's a Jew, and he made a comment, and the comment he made is that when God blesses Israel, he blesses them when Israel are on their land. And when God curses Israel, he curses them when the Israelites are in captivity. And he concludes that Israel was gathered in 1948, and God has blessed them, and God started blessing them when they went into their own land. I beg to differ from Amir Tafati. First of all, let's look at the statement. When God blesses Israel, he blesses them when they are in their land, and when God curses Israel, he curses them when they are in somebody's land, when they are in captivity. Is that true? It may be true to some extent, but not all the time. Let's look at the curses that happened to Israel. The prophet Elijah cursed Israel, and he said there will be no rain for 3.5 years, and there was no rain in Israel for 3.5 years. That was a curse. The curse happened in Israel when the Israelites were on their own land. And so that means that Amir Tafati's statement is not correct. And he also said that the Israelites are cursed. And when curse comes, it comes when they are in captivity. I also beg to differ, and I'll refer to the Egyptian captivity Joseph was in captivity, he was blessed by God, even though he was in captivity. And you know how Joseph was blessed in Egypt. Daniel was blessed when he was in captivity, and you know how the prophet Daniel was blessed when he was in captivity in Babylon. God blessed him with fame and power and spiritual understanding of events, including the events that are happening in this world at this time. So even when the children of God are in captivity, God blesses them when they are in captivity. Let me also refer to the blessings that the chosen of God have received even though they are in captivity. And here I'll refer specifically to the blessings that the Hebrew Israelites received when they went into captivity in Babylon, America. Are you telling me that the Hebrews were not blessed in America? Yes, they were blessed. They were blessed with wisdom. There are so many inventions that happened in America. They were inventions, discoveries made by slaves. These were Negroes. These were the Hebrews who were kidnapped and taken into captivity in Babylon. And whilst they were in captivity, God blessed them in captivity with wisdom and visions and discoveries. Because they were slaves at that time, their discoveries were stolen by the slave masters. They could not do patents of their own because they were slaves. God blessed them when they were in captivity. And so that statement is actually true among the chosen people of God. They will be blessed even when they are in captivity because there is an anointing on them. The prophet Jonah, when he was in the belly of a whale, he was blessed. He got oxygen under the sea. He was blessed because he was a true prophet of the Most High. Even though he disobeyed God, God did not forget him. Even though the Hebrew Israelites disobeyed God, and because of disobedience, they were sent into captivity, as prophesied to Moses by God himself in Deuteronomy 28. God has not forgotten them, and even when they are in captivity, God has blessed them. And the time will come when they will be taken out of captivity, and the time will come when the Messiah will do the gathering. So the question I'm asking is, which Israel is God's time clock? Is it the political state of Israel established in 1948? Or is it the true Hebrews who are still scattered all over the world, in Hamath, in Patros, in Elam, in Ethiopia, and the islands of the sea? This is the message. The message is a prophetic question. Which Israel is God's time peace? For those who are still scattered over the world, remember that the children of Jacob will possess their possessions. There will be deliverance on Mount Zion. the gathering of the Hebrews has not occurred. They are still in captivity, and they will be in captivity until the time of the Gentiles are up. And this is the time of the Gentiles. The events going on in the world show that the time of the Gentiles are up. And they are trying to do away with the Hebrews. They are trying to erase the history of the Hebrews. That is why in Florida, a governor, Ron DeSantis, is banning books about black history, about Negro history. They will do all they can do to wipe out the history. And when you are a Hebrew, you are standing at the corner on the streets in New York and you say you are a Hebrew Israelite, they don't like it, and they use all tags against you. You are a member of a cult. You are anti-Semitic because you are saying you are a Hebrew. The time will come when you will be gathered. You are the true time clock of God. God has not forgotten you. He has not forgotten you. You will be gathered wherever you are. You are the outcast of Israel and the dispersed of Judah. I'm leaving the links of this video in the description box. Share it. You are the God's time clock, the true time clock of the Most High. You are gathering by the Messiah will be a shock to the world. It's one of the mysteries of heaven. Thank you.